to another edition of Tennis Picks and Bets here on the Mayo Media Network. I am John at JR Tweets Tennis in the Twitter sphere. A nice day today. Yesterday's pushover plays actually went 0-2. So for the plays from the second video of the week, 1-2 overall, 2-1 from the first day, but 3-0 on the triple T plays today. That's Tiafoe, Tomljanovic, and Thompson. A nice plus money on that last one. All come through today. So we'll see if we can keep the W's rolling in. Before we do that, though, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the Mayo Media Network if you like this content in video form. If you consume it in audio form, please remember to go to Daily Fantasy Sports Picks and Bets, The Mix, rate, review, and subscribe in whichever podcast app you use. So as we try to continue on here, just two picks today. Odds coming out really late. Usually we don't have players playing back-to-back days at the majors. It's usually top half, bottom half as we get along through the first week. And so we have odds kind of early. Today, a little different with the catch-up from the rain. Plenty of matches still to be priced up at a lot of different books, but there are two matches I do like. The first, we're going to go with the Coco Vandeweghe money line here. A nice underdog at plus 150 against Katerina Siniakova. This is a play primarily based on backing and believing in Coco Vandeweghe's resurgent form on the grass. It's always been her best surface. She's always looked really strong on grass. Of course, injuries have derailed her career the last few years, but she made a semifinal as a qualifier in Birmingham leading into this event. And then against Olga Govortsova, look, she should have won that match. But to do so 6-4, 6-2 really impressed me. It just confirms everything we saw in her run to the semifinals in Eastbourne in terms of her talent and her kind of form being back up to snuff where she's used to it being on grass. She's 6'1", has a huge and booming serve. That serves well. Remember, one of the key characteristics, comfort. She has that. And another key characteristic, power. And she's got both of those. Look, Katerina Siniakova also has both of those things, but she's also a very mercurial talent, very on and off. She's not as boom or bust as some other players on the women's tour, but she certainly has patches of pure brilliance and patches where her game escapes her and she's hitting a ton of unforced errors. When we get an underdog who's got a fairly reliable serve that should hold serve at quite a high rate, and we get someone inconsistent on the other side that can throw games away, I really like that combination, especially when we're getting plus money in this spot. Look, Siniakova also rolled through her first match, but she played a lucky loser who has just a handful of wins on the season, despite having played nearly 20 events. Yifan Wang has not been good this year. That win doesn't mean a whole lot, even though she did so in 6-1, 6-love fashion. Keep in mind, both these women covered their spreads in that first match. Both had convincing wins, so I think we can call that a wash. Siniakova also had a little bit of lead-in success, and I think her lead-in success and her form generally on the season and her ascent the last few years has kind of got the books in the market mispricing this one a little bit, forgetting just how good Coco Vandeweghe can be on the grass. We're going to stick with the women for the second pick as well. That one is Coco Gauff under 19.5 games against Elena Vesnina. Look, I think this one ends in straight sets, and I think it's fairly straightforward. Gauff slipped a few times, and I think that kind of had an impact on some of the leakier service points and leakier forehand errors we saw from her in that first match. She's got a match under her feet, no pun intended, under her Wimbledon now. And I do think that the comfort will come back at the venue. And if it does, this is going to be a lopsided win. I do think this gets done in straight, so I'm not too concerned. I often take the spread over the under in these spots because you do get that possibility of a lopsided third set covering where you wouldn't get the under. But look, I really can't see Elena Vesnina taking a set, and we usually get one game better to bet on the fact that this will end in 2 than we would on the spread. And I do like the under in this spot. I think this over-under should be set at 18.5, which is very, very, very low for a best of the 3 match. But at the same time, I do think that Coco Gauff should win this by 3 or 4 breaks. Her serve has just been so good this year. I think we continue to see that. Again, we saw last match against Francesca Jones, who's a kind of a tenacious local Brit who is playing really, really solid tennis. Watch for her in the coming years. Also has a great backstory. And that one went 22 games, but it was 7-5, 6-4, relatively straightforward. I think we're going to find more service breaks for Coco here, and that serve should hold up as it has been for a while. I mean, it was holding up through clay season, and now again, it held up in the first round. I think we see a straightforward win for Coco Gauff. Elena Vesnina has not been anyone near this level this year. She's returning. She took time off, years off tour in, I guess, an early retirement, and has since returned to the tour. That is really tough to build back up your form. She was a quality player in the past, but I'm not quite sure that this Vesnina is anywhere near the same player anymore. Her wins have come against lesser names, ITF Tour caliber players, not someone who's a borderline top 10 talent on tour. Despite the ranking of 23, Coco Gauff is a top 10 talent right now and in top 10 form. That is just a huge leap to make for Elena Vesnina, and I think we really will see that play out in that match tomorrow. Now, be sure to follow me at Jared Tweets Tennis on Twitter. You can follow at Tidbits Tennis, a podcast I do with my full slate of bets that comes out later in the day. This is the first place to get all of my Grand Slam picks, or not all of them, but some of them. We also do some live streams over there. So thanks for watching again, guys. Let's hope we can sneak another nice underdog play in here with Vandeweghe and get that Coco Gauff match done with relative ease and see if we can extend this win streak to 5 plays.